This is where it all begins, right here. Welcome to Sacramento, the Delta King Hotel. So I'm here for my wife's yearly end of the year party on the King Delta. And what we have here is some brewed coffee, half and half, some black iced tea. Got some of these little packs of sugar. Maybe I can sneak around and find out what we're gonna have for dinner. What do I do with these? Sorry. Looks like we're gonna have California green salad, champagne vinaigrette dressing, Caesar salad, seasoned vegetables, mashed potatoes, grilled chicken, ooh, grilled tri-tip.
Yeah, I will light in just a second. Thank you. Or just give me a lighter and I'll take care of it.
I have a lighter. Oh, you need the long one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do you just have like a regular?
Oh, the Delta Queen, Delta King.
No, they have multiple spots. So they have like the entire end.
And we have more artifacts of the Delta King. The original steering wheel. I think this is going to be like a brass component with oak all notched in. You can see the little wood to keep everything tight. It's been smoothed down and grained. So the Delta King, last of the river palaces that carried hundreds of thousands of people and millions of tons of freight between the deep water port of San Francisco and the Sacramento, the gateway to the gold country in the period from 1849 to 1941. Here we have an original window that has been bolted to the wall, showing people having fun. This used to be a gas light. They've outfitted it. Looks like copper or brass. It's really nice. Kind of some old original photos of when it was actually going up and down the river. You can see at one point the King Delta was in decrepit shape, and Sacramento City put funds together to get this thing fully restored to how it originally ran. See, it was opened on the Sacramento Riverfront in 1989, but the story of the vessel goes back almost 100 years to 1927. It is an important part of the Northern California history. The Canill family meticulously restored the vessel to its former glory to share with visitors and residents of Sacramento. The Delta King is an authentic 280-foot paddle-wheel riverboat that was originally built in Glasgow, Scotland, and Stockton, California. The King and her identical twin, the Delta Queen, were christened on March 20th, 1927, and began their daily river voyages between San Francisco and Sacramento in June of that year. At 6 p.m. each evening, the Grand Monarchs of the Delta left their docks for the 11-hour trip that included prohibition-era drinking, jazz, and fine dining. You can see the captain at the wheel here. We got stop, slow, half full, astern. That's going to be the back of the boat. And then full is the head, meaning the paddles are going to spin, what would that be? Counterclockwise. By 1940, World War II broke out, and the Delta King and the Delta Queen were drafted into the U.S. Navy to serve on the San Francisco Bay as troop transport ships, naval barracks, and finally as hospital ships. They were painted navy gray and renamed the YFB-55 and the YFB-56. And it used to leave the port from San Francisco and Sacramento 6 p.m. daily. At the conclusion of the war, the Delta Queen was purchased by the Green Line Steamers of Cincinnati and taken via the Panama Canal to the Mississippi River, where she served as the flagship of the Delta Queen Steamboat Company. When the Delta Queen left for the East in 1948, she took the steam engines from the Delta King for spare parts. The Delta King has been towed everywhere it has gone since then. The river lines. And these are going to be exact replicas of the Delta King and the Delta Queen that I showed you earlier. At this moment in time, I do not know where the Delta Queen is located at. By the time this presentation ends, I will get that information to you. And let's see, the paddle boats in the back. So I came through this door down here. And we're eating somewhere along this area on the second story. So now the Delta King is now a restaurant, a bar and a grill, and now it is a hotel with 44 staterooms. As you can see here, we have the original pressure gauges and instruments used to dial in the boat and keep it running and stuff like that. So a couple old pressure valves, amperage, voltage by General Electric. These are antique. These are over 100 years old right here. And then we have the original machine casting, the B1, that would show you the pounds per pressure prior to the paddle starting to spin out here. And today this beautiful floating hotel enjoys year-round activity. The original 88 staterooms have been remodeled to create 44 more modern and spacious hotel rooms. The Sacramento Bee has highlighted the Pilot House restaurant as a must-dine destination, and the Delta King Hotel has featured in Travel and Leisure magazine as one of the best small hotels in the world, right here in my Sacramento hometown. This was on the stop. Ahead is going to be forward, astern is going to be the back, and then this was the original Riverline schedule of service back. I think this is more like the 80s, considering the price is a little bit more than like 1927s. I think it was quarters. And then here you can see that they're charging dollars. And then it took 5 painstaking years for the Delta King to be finished. It was christened and opened once again reigned as the herald monarch of the Sacramento River, where we begin hotel operations on the boat in April of 1989. They were elaborated to hear stories and first-hand recollections from those fortunate people who actually rode on the King and Queen during their heyday between 1927 and 1940, or who had served abroad these antique ships during the war years of the 1940s when it was commissioned by the American forces to serve in the Navy. Here we have another wood carved model of the Delta King. The Delta King Hotel opened on the Sacramento waterfront in 1989. However, the story of the vessel goes back almost 100 years to 1927. This is what I'm on right now, having a luncheon for my wife. There's a hotel here inside of the ship itself. The Delta King Hotel, restaurant and bar, banquets and theater. I don't know if you guys are aware, but over there where it says California Steam Navigation Company steamers for San Francisco, my company actually installed the roof on that building right there, where the fish and chips is located, right over there with the city of Sacramento. I think it was done last summer. They just went with the shingle roof, completely tore it off and then put a new shingle roof on with, I believe it was a peel and stick paper by, what is that company? Garland. It was a Garland underlayment peel and stick paper that we put there. Very, very pricey. Very expensive. And right outside the River King Delta, they have these old train engines. Historical steam engines, I should say. I believe this is a steam engine. AT and SF. Yep, that's a big steam guy. All those wires right there would be holding water, steaming through to get this thing to chug. Kind of sucks we don't have a cover on her. It's letting her get all rusty dusty. But yeah, that's what trains used to look like back in the day. Big steam engine right there. 5021. Looks like they have a passenger rail card as well. Over yonder, Southern Pacific. And I want to say if we were to keep walking down that way, that we would run into the Sacramento Regional Train Museum. It has the biggest collection of restored engines in the world. And this is going to be a tanker cart, as you can see right there. They have the fire sign, and this thing holds gas or oil of some kind. And I'll walk over here. capacity 7,988 gallons of liquid. And over here we're looking at all the old engines for the Sacramento Train Museum. This is where they house them when they're not actually inside of the museum. I don't know if you can see if it's too dark or not, but we have an old Amtrak train, and it looks like that's just a passenger cart of some kind. I can't see through there. And we got another steam engine, 2467 is the steam engine. I believe this one works. It was a Southern Lines Pacific train. Pretty neato. I would go over there, but I'm not trying to get off the concrete. Looks like they got an old train running right now. Some type of Amtrak train running on the Tower Bridge. And this is going to be the riverfront of Old Sac. As you can see, the river is super high. A lot of debris out there. As you can see, the Sacramento River is really high right now. It's probably about 10 or 15 feet higher than normal. Been experiencing a lot of rain lately. Otherwise, that's the boat that we're having dinner on. See a couple of those buildings from downtown Sacramento. I think my shop is located 4 miles that way, off of 16th, right where it meets Midtown.